If I'm thinking of burning here out of his pool, I'd rather like the anti-mage to like the lifestealer, for example. It just feels like, again, we've seen anti-mage versus Naga. Like, they're going greedy with Naga, let's go greedy with anti-mage. But I know he did comment after his last anti-mage game, he felt like his anti-mage wasn't up to his normal standard, so maybe he's like lost belief in his anti-mage. Used to be his hero.
Yeah. I think he's taken lifestealer instead though. Decent trade. There you go. Oh, and he actually takes lifestealer here as well.
Wow.
Good with Storm at least.
Yeah. I like IG's draft. A little bit worried for OG perhaps, but at the same time,
some fair amount of greed in here, Ben.
From both sides.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, we'll go through the predictions. We'll start with Ben this time.
Go with OG. They Naga Alchemist. They're huge strengths. Doesn't matter that they don't have a big team fight combination with it. I think.
I'm going to agree with Ben just because I think OG just. They're the clutch team. They win the big matches, and they win them with these Naga and Alchemist drafts. This is OG in a nutshell.
Okay, Shiva?
Who am I to go against the great minds of our analyst couch right now?
What?
What? I called you guys great minds. Am I not allowed?
Don't give us that much credit,
okay.
please.
Who am I to go up against these fools? I mean,
well, 3 for 3.
We
stuck together last game.
Yeah,
we'll stick together
okay,
again.
I'll go for OG. I haven't been wrong yet this series, so we'll see.
Ride and die together.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, okay. They're all on the green machine to win game number 3. Let's go back to our commentary team for the decider.
Thank you very much, Paul. We've all come down to this. IG, it's versus OG. Couldn't be any other way. East meets West in terms of play styles as well. Naga Siren versus, again, a Lifestealer, this time taken as the last pick. Cap, do you think that with that Storm Spirit, the combination that they've got there, it's going to be enough to overcome what OG is throwing out?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we were talking about it, right? It was like the opening was definitely OG favored, and IG had to do something to be able to change that. And I think switching up the Lina into a support, you know, like I said, Invoker, turned out to be Storm Spirit. Either way, you wanted a better like scaling kind of mid that you didn't feel threatened. It was like the Alchemist. It was like the Naga Siren. Like, you don't want to be under that pressure and just be like forced to try and close out the game super fast. So I like the fact they gave themselves that out. They still pick up the Lifestealer, which is perfectly acceptable because they have a Storm Spirit. I think IG, like the panel all went OG, but I do think IG is capable of closing this out. Like, they showed it in game number 2. Like, I didn't think I was ever going to see a game in this tournament that closed out under 30 minutes, but IG proved they can do it.
Absolutely, and looking to do it again here. It's interesting, too, because you've got this Monkey King that's sort of been a bit of a deciding one, but you've also got bo3 who's playing on his Earth Spirit, and it's another one of those heroes that he's very well known for. Probably the most known Earth Spirit in China, I'd say, with the exception of dogfights. And he's very talented on it, as we did see that ward placed down early.
Yeah, I thought for a second maybe Burning was going to spot that, but I don't think he did. So that is going to be a ward that gets really good vision of the rotations of the Earth Spirit, because he does want to, well, I'm not sure if he's needed to help out the bottom lane. It does kind of depend on what our Monkey King is going to be doing. Earth Spirit does not need to try and counter whatever the Monkey King is attempting to do. I'm not sure if he wants to sit in lane and zone out the Nyx Assassin. I think Naga, Siren, and Warlock are going to be pretty capable of doing that by themselves. So maybe he plays a little bit more with the Centaur. Maybe he just sticks on top of the Storm Spirit. As we did see, Storm Spirit, level 6, very susceptible to a lot of ganking power, and also very susceptible like supports like Ogre or Monkey, who could just sit in lane and kind of zone you out for the first level or 2.
Right. Well, and there's going to be the early bounty runes as well. It was 3 that went to IG. Only the one that picked up was Ana, as we do have that early movement out. And Monkey King, I mean, it does feel as if he's not going to be able to do those same type of zoning shenanigans that we saw before with this dual lane. Earth Spirit sticking up more on the top. They've also gone in with Lina and the Nyx Assassin. I was always wondering if this was going to be a possibility, trying to apply the pressure. Is this something that Naga can deal with?
Not really, but you can still recover from it very well. What I like about this a little bit more is the fact that Monkey King, he's like, I'm in this awkward position now. I can't zone out the offlaner like I like to do. I can't roam very freely because my carry's being threatened so heavily. You know, it's just kind of like this weird position. OG are playing a lot of pressure onto the Burning Lifestealer, though. They've got a Centaur Warlock lane against a Lifestealer Lina. S4 is simply just going to have too much HP for them to really be able to go on him. So I don't think they can bring an Earth Spirit into lane. It's kind of like the situation for both, right? It's like I don't think OG can run a defensive tri-lane against what IG's doing in their off lane, nor do I think IG can move their extra support down to the bottom lane to help out against OG's aggression. So it is going to be a bit of a wash in that regard. I think that favors IG though. If I'm looking at what offlaners and what carries, like the offlaner for both sides, Centaur versus Nyx Assassin. I think Nyx Assassin gets a lot of value out of getting early farm because it's hard for him to claim it in the first place. And then the carry that's being shut out is a Naga Siren. I think Naga Siren's going to be a little bit more affected in the CS charts than Lifestealer, but it is a slight lead right now to N0tail, so maybe I'm wrong about that.
Well, and I guess the other thing, too, though, is that you have your level 6 that comes online with the Lifestealer, and then you can catch back up by virtue of kills, trying to move in and contest N0tail a little bit more effectively as well. And it's also a situation where this does mean we have a straight-up one-on-one matchup, at least until bo3 comes in with an Invis rune. I do not believe that was scouted either by anybody from the Dire, so there's a chance that he can make something happen here. Looking for the Courier Snipe, will not find it, at least for now.
Very hard for a Storm to be able to kill a TA, so I think more likely he's just opting for an attempted Courier kill. Not going to happen, though, as the TA doesn't have anything she wants right now.
Just going for a walk in the woods. He's going to be fine with that.
Yeah.
Stretch the legs every now and then.
Slowing down N0tail's farm, as you said, like Lifestealer has a way to be able to get back into the game fairly quickly with his Storm Surge. Oh, nice roll.
Okay, S4.
Not enough, though.
Yeah, he's just going to be able to walk away from that one. That's the beauty of the Warlock as well, getting heals in.
Yeah, you just have to make sure that the Centaur is never below like 75% HP, and I don't think Lifestealer Lina could ever get that kill. Neither can the Lina Earth Spirit combo either. So as we shut down the N0tail Naga Siren, even just if it was just the very beginning, it does prolong that period of time where IG is going to be super aggressive and continuing to try and hunt down. Oh, nice 3-man stun.
Okay, on to Burning as well. He's going to pop the Rage. S4 still manning up against him. They're going to throw out a 2-person stun from the Earth Spirit and just creating that little bit of separation. S4 does have another stun. He has enough mana for it now, but not quite going to be able to catch up. Just continuing to right-click them down to get them into a position where maybe then you find a kill.
Their tri-lane's not really working out. I think Lifestealer's still kind of okay if they can give him like some sorts of regen. They give him a healing cell, leave him alone for a little while. I would actually like to see these supports maybe rotate out. Obviously, OG would know about it since they're keeping this constant presence, but OG wouldn't really be able to make the call of whether it's going mid or top, and both are susceptible to this support duo. So maybe they can find some sort of space for them to rotate out instead of keeping this tri-lane situation.
And the other thing that's kind of weird about it too is that it was going so well earlier for IG, and then you bring these two heroes down to the bottom lane, and now you're looking at an Nyx Assassin who's being zoned out a little bit by the Monkey King. He's not getting nearly as much as he was before, although as I'm saying that, Jerix is going to leave.
Yeah, it's because they made the scan onto the Earth Spirit. So Jerix thinks that the Earth Spirit is actually somewhere in that tree area, but bo3 was simply just getting the 4-minute bounding rune. And is going to rotate through into lane now. Yeah, but you're right. It was like they had almost like the top 3 CS on the side of IG, and then things just kind of changed as we started getting to level 3-4 area. And now it's going to be OG who are very clearly winning the laning phase.
So OP getting closer to that level 6. There was a boulder kick taking care of the trees. Just a little bit of deforestation, not wanting Jerix to be able to jump.
As much as people really don't like the Monkey King right now because he feels a little bit overpowered, I do really love seeing the Earth Spirit versus the Monkey King support matchup, just because it gives a lot of depth to the rotations.
All right, Ana going to be stunned. They need to burn through these refraction charges. They find the stun as well with Q. Going to be able to find first blood. OP draws it.
There you go. They're pushing out bottom lane pretty heavily, and then they rotated that Lina into mid. That's exactly the kind of rotation I think they needed to be able to make. The support duo is not very strong by themselves. Individually, you put the Lina bottom and you put the Earth Spirit top, but if you can combine them together, they've got really long initiation range and a lot of damage in CC.
So S4 maybe needing to be another one of those holding factors. I mean, the thing is that you get first blood there onto IG, but still the lanes are going quite well, I would say, for OG at this point in time in the game. It's a very even matchup. What do you think is going to be one of those turning points? Do you go for an early Infest Bomb with the Storm Spirit combo?
No tail. I think he's read the rotation of those two supports. But maybe he can't get out of it.
There's the rolling boulder forward. They found him. There's going to be another light strike array in a second. Q hits it. Right click's coming in. They've got more than enough as No Tail is going to drop in this top lane.
Nice job. I think No Tail, he made the read. It was just perhaps a little bit too late. IG, this is exactly what they need to do, right? You said, when is the time come? Well, the support's got to make some movement. They got to cover this early 10-minute window and offset this static laning phase win for OG until the Storm Spirit Lifestealer Bomb is a little bit ready, right? They've got to get Armlet and they've got to get some levels onto the Storm Spirit before they can make that kind of move, or even just the Nyx Assassin Lifestealer Bomb. Like, that is another point of aggression that IG can make, but that's more around 15 minutes. IG got to cover their early game better with these support rotations, and they're just beginning to kick things up. We'll see if they can make another one on a mid soon.
Yeah, and OP still standing tall in this at top of the CS. I think that also, I mean, there's so many different vehicles for the Lifestealer in this game. You've got the Nyx, you've got the Earth Spirit, you've got the Storm Spirit, and the big thing that they're going to be waiting for is one of those early items. But interestingly enough, Lifestealer has decided to go back for the Midas, thinking that he is going to need to scale up since he is a pretty heavy part of the, the main core that's going to get stuff done early.
Yeah, I'll never say no to Midas's. Maybe that last one with the Slark, but honestly, I don't know what No Tail, what item would have accomplished more for him.
Oh, they're setting up. They want to make this play. Early aggression with the sleep. Jarek's going to look for the Boundless Sight, check it all up, but S4, can he find the follow-up stun? They turn onto Q first, going to try and bring him down. The counterplay, though, bo3 finds a stun onto 2.
He's going to have to eat his way through the trees and find a TP out, but he can't get it.
2 dead. Invictus Gaming are going to drop a couple in the top lane.
Those are just the 2 supports, and it was heavy rotations from OG. So that was not the same kind of like Song of Siren, Enigma Black Hole play that we saw. That was game-changing. This one was just kind of like, okay, that's an acceptable play. Yes, you killed 2 supports. You secured Naga Siren some farm, but now you're also very susceptible, right? You know you don't have that ultimate to fall back on for 3 minutes. IG hopefully will take advantage of that timer. I'm not entirely sure how, though, if they're still going to just try and do it with this trio of Nyx and the 2 supports, or if they're going to try and bring Lifestealer Storm Spirit to help out a little bit more.
Well, and that's the tough thing again, is that you do have a very, they're going to go for it right now, though. They're just going to bring 3 heroes. They've got them all there. No Tail, they don't hit the light strike array. Really good decision-making by No Tail to go south instead of to the north, and now he's going to run through, does not get by Great, but it's instead bo3 who does another light strike array. No Tail, he is going to get out of that.
Sick. Well played, No Tail. I mean, I think OG should have made that read in the first place, that they're probably going to go for Naga Siren again, but No Tail outplayed that scenario. Fantastic dodges the LSA. Q definitely made a couple mistakes there. Made a kick coming up from the Earth Spirit, for example. Maybe he could have waited for that to secure his stun, but that just kills this. This is now probably 2 minutes wasted, right? They could have just easily made that smoke rotation onto mid and shut down the TA. They went for the Naga Siren instead. Don't even get that kill.
And now Ana can start scaling a little bit more too, getting this gold on himself, can farm out this ancient stack that you've been building slightly and get into some early items. As far as more of like the macro sense of this game and where we're going to see it going, do you feel like the Naga Siren Radiance is going to shut down IG and just put a halt in all the push that they want to start out? Is that something that you need to be worried about for IG?
Yeah, that timing of the Naga Siren split push is going to be hard for IG to work around. I don't think there's a problem here, right? No. In fact, if there is a problem, it's problem for S4.
Other way around, they try and take him down. Actually gets the Stampede off. Oh, Burning wanted more.
Didn't do enough either.
They wanted to go for more stun, just a little bit off the mark there from bo3. And it looks like OG to get away with that one. That was very close, but another failed gank.
Yep, that was a Raindrop save right there. Raindrop saves lives, man. Well played by OG. I really like the way the Nyx Assassin set that up, though. He's going to have a lot of opportunities for these kind of ganks with the Spike Carapace. He can right-click the Centaur before he Vendettas, bounce back the return damage to get a free stun. Same goes with Naga Siren, potentially catch him with the Riptide. Later on, it's going to be the Radiance Bird. Those sort of situations are available for XXS. He is again going to be in a position where, much like his Legion Commander earlier, he could take over this game if he plays correctly. But I think IG's lineup is made a little bit more around being like kind of preempting the Radiance or the 6-slotted Naga Siren timing and being able to like constantly shut him down with these games because they have so much rotational and burst power. Between, like Lena's got a lot of burst damage, you've got multiple vehicles for the Lifestealer, this long-range initiation from the Storm Spirit. Those are all really good tools to have against the Naga Siren to prevent her from getting that farm out. But once you do have that farm, Nyx Assassin doesn't scale the best into late game compared to other offlaners, nor is he terribly good wave clear to be able to deal with like an illusion that's pushing out. They've only got really Storm Spirit and Lifestealer for that.
Well, and so the other thing that we can talk about is that even if they don't hit that great timing, you still have 2 Midases that are already about to be online. The Nyx Assassin was building into one on top of the Lifestealer. So you've got a couple of these later game insurances policy. It was sort of the answer that EG had to face up against, where they just got a ton of Midases in response to the Naga Siren. And I'm wondering now as well if that's something that you're going to have to be concerned about. Warlock's still not level 6, so there's only that one saving mechanism of the Song of the Siren that's available. And he just now gets it right now. There's the tome. Okay.
Yeah, this rotation from S4 to the top lane is really smart. They also, this is what OG has done a couple times now. They have this Naga Siren. That ward that you saw there on the right-hand side of the screen, they really like this ward as well as the ward near the Bounty Rune area. Q's going to get picked off.
Yeah, this should be an easy one. No real chance to get away.
The great thing about that ward is that it oftentimes spots smoke rotations. Right, so the smoke comes in and they get near this tower and maybe they get too close to a hero, but they're hiding under trees, right? They think like, oh, we're definitely not scouted, but that ward really helps with those kind of rotations.
All right, they found this TA.
Really the play?
This feels unlikely to work, and actually slowed down by the Stampede movement speed as they walk through Ana, and now XSS is also in trouble. They throw out a Spike Carapace. It's not nearly going to be enough to create that separation, and OG find another 2. The snowball might start a rolling here.
Yeah, this is not a good sign. This is not the Nyx Assassin plays you want to see. Like, he has an opportunity to take over the game, but he is currently being countered quite heavily, and honestly, he just kind of kills himself there by trying to go on a Templar Assassin. Maybe if they were able to wait just a little bit longer, I think Vendetta was running out, but maybe if they were waiting, could wait just a little bit longer until maybe another hero rotates from IG or the refraction's down or something.
Yeah. Well, I was talking with Weppus and Scriff in between the games also. I get to watch a lot of the OG games, and they were telling me that one thing that separates OG from other Naga Siren lineups is that they try and get aggressive early with that initial Radiance. And it feels like this is the perfect type of game for it, because a lot of times the other Naga Siren lineups, they'll just sort of sit back, rest on their laurels, try and farm up. But this feels to me like it's a game where you can get aggressive, take down all the towers, and further accentuate that map control.
Yeah, certainly. And playing passive also leaves you susceptible to pickoffs, right? But if you're playing active, you're probably playing a little bit more grouped up. That could be a way to guard against that. Nice silence.
Oh, he's out of mana too. Won't be able to get that song off, and that is a huge kill that IG desperately needed.
Yeah, keep that Radiance down. They've kind of messed up a couple of times now, but solid rotation from the 2 supports and OP. It is allowing some of the other heroes from OG to get plenty of farm. Centaur and Templar Assassin, they are looking pretty good. Like comparatively where a Centaur normally would be, 5K by 15 minutes. Very happy with that. And Templar Assassin's topping out the board right now.
Almost towards that Deso, and now they're going to be mounting that offensive onto the Tier 1 tower in the mid lane. Monkey King, he is still waiting for anybody who hops in. Q just walked into hell, and he is going to die to that one. Burning is also here. Jarek's still very much on the edge of this. They're fighting inside of Monkey King Ultimate. I don't know if that's such a great idea. Ana pops the trap, going to hit the Impale
Burning
from
backed
the low
off.
ground. They got it. Is it going to be enough, though? Oh, Solo pops the meld, and they are going to be able to walk away from this. Ana just juked without moving somehow, and now looks like OP is going to be there to play cleanup crew. A second Impale. Oh, S4
No
saving
way.
the day. What? Is Ana really going to walk away from this one? Turns to fight. Almost kills
Miss.
bo3. Miss uphill. No, it's not going to be enough. IG take a kill in return. It was a little bit tough, but they found it in the end.
Yeah, like Burning walked away from that. Like he might have missed the one click that would have gotten them the kill a lot faster. Maybe they could have defended tower because of that, right? Because Jarex, he was just like, okay, you guys are leaving your ultimate. I can't really help out the TA. I'll just right-click the tower. Takes the mid-tier 1. We talked about how important this tower is to a lot of these mobile heroes and some of these later game intelligence heroes too. Both Storm Spirit and Tinker rely on these. OP, of course, will have the shrines to fall back on. That is his first Bloodstone, added Bloodstone charge as well. So there is an added benefit to that Templar Assassin pickoff.
And Burning building towards that armlet done. Next item on the list is going to be the Deso. And in your eyes,
This is a big window, right?
Okay, so
You've
talk to
got
me
the
about
armlet, we've got the armlet, we've got the Storm Spirit with the Bloodstone. We got to start building up those Bloodstone charges and also giving the Lifestealer a lot of kills with these Infest Bombs. So IG have to, because OG knows this is coming, right? You know these timings, you know what the plan is. So IG do have to disguise some of these push-outs, and OG are actually going to play aggressive into this.
this would be such a huge pickup. If you can deny a couple of those Bloodstone charges, they have vision on OP. They're going to see him. He's going by where the tower used to be, no longer there. Boundless Strike to follow up. Ana's in his face. They find the kill. Now bo3 just running away desperately. The Impale going to connect onto two. They do bring down Jarex, now trying to find more. Burning's right-clicking onto Ana. The damage over time coming in. There's so much magnetized damage coming out. Ana is going to possibly fall. OP is there. He's going back in. They're going to take him down. Another one goes the way of IG. Continuing to pull up. Wants the song of the Silency Silence. They're not going to get him as 4 is going to fall. bo3, oh, they made it work with a huge magnetized play.
bo3, man. That magnetize was everything to them. Constant damage coming out. The Templar Assassin just couldn't really deal with it whatsoever. It also won back, was it maybe 1 or 2 Bloodstone charges for the Storm Spirit. So that was, yeah, he's back to 11. So the bit of recovery there. It was a good rotation from OG. I'm not sure if they expected IG to be grouped up so much, but either way, like getting a jump onto the Storm Spirit is a fantastic idea.
Yeah, and this is the thing too. It's like the Lina situation again. You get that Bloodstone early, and sure, losing those charges sucks, but it does mean you can get back into that fight. And again, the more important things here as well was getting the silences off, making sure that those spells couldn't come quickly enough. Oh man, and what a great fight there for IG. I mean, OG picked up a couple in return, and getting the Storm Spirit is obviously great there as well.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see as we come out of this replay, what have IG done with this? I think they were backing up, and I think they took that top shrine. They're fully healed, or mostly healed, and are ready to go again. That said, it's not like OG blew anything massive for that team fight. They still have Song of Siren to be able to work around for this next one. I don't think they give up this mid tower lightly.
Yeah, and Burning taking a good deal of damage there. Oh my God. Okay, OP jumps onto the TA, but the
Nice
counterplay,
kick.
oh, they end up stunning him again. All right, Song of the Silence. Can they do anything with this? They don't have Golem right now from Fly. Jarex is going to pop the MK ulti. The stun onto 2. This is pretty decent. OP in trouble. Manages to get out on nothing. He's still taking the DOT, though, from that Shadow Word. Does he end up dying? Wants to get to the shrine. It's not Yusil, and he is going to pop in the end.
He had one more bottle usage too, I think, but good chase there from OG. Again, keeping that Storm Spirit. Oh, they're going to get bo3 too. That's 3 down. Yeah, OG, they're very dangerous with these Song of Siren setups, and IG, they definitely got caught in it. I'm not sure, because they don't have a defensive hero.
Right.
That was part of the problem with opening with this Lina and transitioning it into a support. It's like you only have aggression from there. So they don't have a saving hero to prevent the Storm Spirit or one of these other cores, like maybe Nyx Assassin, from just being instantly bursted by the Song of Siren combination that comes out, because they're almost always being Boundless Strike, right? That's going to be a big stun. He's always going to be able to line up. They have the potential Golem to lay down. Q's probably dead here.
Oh. little bit off the mark. They are going to hit a light strike array. Q just going to run away. Okay,
Got him.
sure, why not? just get out of there. I mean, that happens on occasion. So the other thing there as well is that this is pre-Radiance, and that last fight was also without Golem. And they still managed to win that engagement.
It's distressing, yes, but IG, again, just play the times like, okay, you're going to lose some of these fights. Song of Siren is such a good setup ability, especially with Monkey King, and you don't have a saving hero. You're just going to have to give up some heroes in that kind of setup. But it does oftentimes give you a 3-minute, 2-minute, 1-minute window, depending on the levels, of time to be able to work around. So they got to be aggressive. They got to continue to be in the face of OG during this window, because you won't have the same kind of windows when you get level 18 on Naga Siren. Not just because of split pushing, but also because 60-second cooldown is nothing.
Yeah, you really don't care about that at that point, and you have to just play around the other ultimates at that point as well. So there was a little bit of an infest movement with the Nyx Assassin. Wasn't able to find anything, but now the Radiance Naga Siren begins. And this is, again, a point where OG can make stuff happen. In your eyes, do you try and go to secure Roshan at this stage if you're one of these teams, or possibly force a fight and then make that movement since you do have the Deso done for TA?
I think Roshan's too dangerous. IG need to make a smoke movement that allows them to take that mid tower, and if it's good enough, maybe they can back up and take Roshan off of that. But otherwise, I think Roshan is too dangerous for either team. IG is more capable of doing it, but they're facing a Song of Siren and could just straight up lose the game. While OG, they're not as capable. I guess they do have the TA with the Deso, but it's not really worth the risk, I think, in my mind. They're already winning the game.
Ooh, OP almost gets caught. They break the trees. Nice play, and is going to be able to bring down and kill off that Monkey King. Ana went on to Q, but now Burning is there. Does have the Deso, able to blink away because of those refraction charges. And Q actually almost going to die to those Naga Siren illusions.
Yeah, good thing he popped that shrine pretty early. Recognized that the danger was still going to come from those illusions.
So OP, 8 Bloodstone charges. Doesn't feel terrible, but certainly not great.
Yeah, he's not happy. You really need that early Orchid as well. Cannot, because he just straight up loses if we have a Manta from the Naga Siren at around the same time as you get your Orchid. It's like, okay, that item doesn't, it's still going to do some things for you. It's still going to be able to allow you to initiate and like catch, maybe you silence the Centaur and you go on the Warlock, or maybe you just use it to burst down the Warlock or something like that. It's still going to be useful, but the full use of that item was supposed to be to shut down the Naga Siren and prevent this, at least slow down this 6-slotted Naga that's going to come.
Yeah, and I think also it's worth noting that it's the Naga Siren going actually for the Boots of Travel, so there's going to be an extended window where the Storm Spirit can make these types of plays and you know, find himself a pickoff. Also, here in the jungle, we do have XSS. They don't, well, they are going to go on to S4. There's the easy setup, easy impale, and S4 going to be an easy kill. Can they find something on the turn, though? TA is blasting Burning. The stun is not going to be there. Burning dies. They throw in a Magnetize, and that will, at least for the moment, dissuade, but actually, do have the haste rune. They're going to cough it off.
That was a good dodge there with his haste rune, dodging the incoming boulder.
Oh, he's diving. He's going to just destroy Q and impale to turn it around. Do they have enough damage here, though? You still have Fly in the area. Drops the Golem of full Fatal Bonds. XSS needs to be careful. He's dropping so quickly. They find a triple kill for Ana. Oh, and wow, they have just completely blown open this game.
Yeah, they certainly have. Now OG, like a fight like that, I think you can probably take Roshan, because you still have the security of the Song of Siren if IG try and rush you with only like 3 or 4 heroes. So the Desolator's going to make pretty short work of that. They're doing it as a team as well, which I really like, to speed up the process.
Yeah, that's that opening that we were talking about that they needed to get. So Storm Spirit, oh, they break the Monkey King. Storm Spirit's jumping from the other side of the map. OP has caught him. Song of the Siren to secure Roshan. Can they get out after the fact, though? It looks like they're just immediately going to go for the TP on No Tail.
And OP doesn't have the mana to work with to chase some of those other heroes, so it kind of worked out just like we were talking about, right? IG still tried to rush him with 4 heroes. They get a pick off, but the security of Song of Siren allows them to claim that Aegis, and that Aegis is really important. IG need that pickup. OG don't. Like, it's just not a necessity to their strategy, but IG need to be able to have the aggression from the Storm Spirit, allowing them to dive in deep and catch these heroes without fear of reprisal.
So is this going to be one of those games, though, where IG's Midas is the fact that you're not getting as much on some of the other heroes from OG, they maybe start to fall off at all? Is that a concern that you might have for the OG lineup?
It's not terribly concerning because Warlock is still impactful without a whole lot of gold. Okay. I'm a little bit concerned that Monkey King doesn't have his Hand of Midas yet, but I'm sure he'll... Oh, no, he's actually just going phase. And so he's going, like, I want to have an impact as early as possible. And I think that does make a lot of sense, considering IG's biggest window is 25 to 35 minutes. So I can respect that. I think in general, they're just comfortable with the late game, even with the Hand of Midas on IG. They're like TA is getting the farm she needs. Ultimately, I think OG want to be able to close out this game actually around like 45 minutes. I think their window when they are the strongest is 35 to 45. We start going past that, and maybe it swings back around for IG's favor simply because of Storm Spirit. It's hard to say though. The Templar Assassin, it's harder to judge how that hero works late game because of the level 25 talent, the extra refraction charges. That 3 extra instances does that a lot. And
she is incredibly high level as well.
Because it could be 6 extra instances, right? If you get 2 of them off in a fight.
Oh, well, there's
he's out of mana.
He's in trouble. Stomped. Yep, another kill going the way of OG. So even if they do possibly get to that stage, they're going to need Storm Spirit to help hold the high ground relatively soon, because it feels like OG is not stopping for anything.
Yeah, I really think they had to play a little bit more 5-man during these Song of Siren timings when they're down, but the problem is if they play it 2 5-man now, they're going to run into these team fight setups for OG.
Yeah, Golem is back up again. Chaotic Offering for Fly. You can see that movement towards mid. Call is there. There's still a tier 1 in the top lane, interestingly enough. So I don't know if OG are going to feel the need to go high ground at this point. They can certainly still stall it out and just secure all these other towers across the map if they want to.
Yeah, they still are going to get stronger. So take advantage of the early lead that you have though and push for more. Taking total map control. Just kind of keep control of the game. Yeah. What was that Warlock pickup? Was that his Hand of Midas that he's got queued up? Yeah.
And that's the other thing, is that as you take all these other outer towers, you get that extra bit of gold into your support, then you can get into those other items that allow them to scale better as well. But the movement up towards top, it does not feel if IG are even comfortable taking this fight, and OG might not let them sit back and farm.
It's a hard tower to defend.
Oh, Silence came out there. That is the Orchid from the catch, and now S4 catches onto 2 as well. OP is here to try and turn this back around, but the Chaotic Offering is going to be the combo breaker. Jerax pops his ulti. He's still very low HP. So that Song of the Siren is going to stop. They drop down the Boundless Strike, jumping away. A double kill for Fly. 3 are dead. No buyback on the Storm. It's a good stun as well.
No Tail's
but
almost
I don't know
dead.
if it's enough. They're not going to be able to bring him down. That is No Tail dead, but can they find any more? They jump inside Burning, but they're already gone. It just doesn't matter.
And keeps on saving these Melt Strikes for whenever the toggle attempts to come through, so it's just such an overwhelming amount of damage that even if he does get a successful toggle out, that bit of that 400 HP is just not going to be enough to survive through. So, bam, OG just, okay, we can go high ground a lot earlier than we expected.
I mean, S4 is there. They get the stun. There's upheaval to hold back the rest of IG. It's hard to come and contest this. They don't have their big ultis, but the Golem, as well as Honor right clicks, might be enough to secure this tower.
He still has that Aegis, so he's willing to use this Aegis to take tier 3s because it's such a big opening. Like having Shrines before 30, it's huge.
Yeah, they don't quite secure that one yet. They decide to back out as the Golem dies, and as obviously the Aegis might be coming a little bit closer to expiring. We'll have to see, of course, what the exact timing is on that. But yeah, that Orchid pickup as well, the reveal of it on the Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, great choice. I mean, he's going to use that Orchid anyway for his late game build, right, with the Bloodthorn. So smart, an extra way to be able to shut down the Storm Spirit, who with the Bloodstone Orchid, he's on 4 Bloodstone charges.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It certainly hurts, but
this is OG playing like they're playing ahead of the curve in their lineup. If you look at the way these strategies should match up against each other, IG should be dominant right now, but they're simply not.
And S4 is just going to be able to initiate and find the pick off onto bo3 here. The Earth Spirit is going to evaporate. The right clicks there from the TA, and this is OG playing like they want them to go into a grand final. And they've been there quite a few times and tend to do quite well.
Yeah, they really do. As long as it's not TI, they seem to win them all.
OP there is going to possibly find a pickoff onto the Monkey King. That's one going their way. Keep that going. IG want to hope in this.
Yeah, it's a small pickoff. It's a Bloodstone charge, but it is not a kill that really changes your game. You need a Naga Siren pickoff. You need a TA pickoff, but you're seeing OG, like, they've got control of the game. There's no reason to give them that opening, right?
Oh, OP, no. He's going to get stomped. Can they find this kill? The Orchid to follow. Right click's coming through. Melt Strike. That should be the death of him. Bloodstone suicides. It feels bad. And now Lina outside the base. Fly is here as well.
They have a buyback on Storm. They might use it for this fight.
Q. They jump. XSS is going to get the stun off. Ana got the refraction off before the Laguna Blade came out, and now S4 finds a stomp onto 2. Fly is still there. Upheaval out. They get the silence. This might be the turnaround that they need. They've already killed off the TA. Now going to take down 2 more. Looking to find no down. They get the stun as well. That's what IG needed, and they will be able to at least hold on to some semblance of a fight in this game.
OP's like, yeah, those Bloodstone charges, who cares? I was on 4. I went down to 2. Now I'm at 7. That was such a huge recovery. I don't know if, like, OG clearly discounted the Storm Spirit buyback. Like, I don't think they expected it to be there, because finding that close to the base and setting up with Song of Siren, it means that fight could go so disastrously. It's just like, it's, again, giving your opponent a window to work with that they wouldn't have had. You just take that kill and be like, oh, sweet. Like, we just secured ourselves even more of a win. I think OG just needed to play a little bit more patient. Like, take the pick off, control the game some more. You don't need to like, get this win-all team fight just yet. You still have, I would say, at least 20 minutes to work with, where OG is still the controlling factor. And even then, late game, I still don't know what's going to happen.
And you can see, again, they take advantage of it so quickly. Granted, it's just the tier 1 tower in the mid lane, but that tower still incredibly important for thinking about contesting Roshan and all of the other areas as far as controlling the map. You can see now the wards that were placed down. This really good deep one in the dire jungle gives so much vision. And I feel like this is given IG an inch. They might take a mile if you're not careful.
Absolutely, because if they get the BKB on Storm Spirit, everything changes, right? That aggressive initiation from OG is no longer a threat. OP can also dive in a lot more aggressively and go for the Warlock when it's IG initiating a team fight. That's the one thing, is we have not seen IG initiating a team fight almost ever, because OG outplayed them early. The pickoffs didn't go quite as well as they wanted to. We never got to a dominant IG factor. They just always lost team fights to the Song of Siren setup.
Oh, OP, this is the Lifestealer bomb we knew could have happened. Trying to run away, Stampede is there. The stun, they got him magnetized, and that should be the death of Ana. OP is dominating.
And now it's going to be maybe a tier 2 for IG. I think that this is going to be the BKB finished up for the next fight of OG. They really just let the ball slip through their hands here.
This is such a scary moment as well, because this is a tier 2 tower that's going down. TA is gone for 60 seconds. No buyback. They're thinking about making this.
Okay, we have some big-time ultimates still. Song of Siren into a Centaur Stomp, a Boundless Strike, and that Monkey King ultimate. The Warlock ultimate missing, though. That is problematic. They still have Fatal Bonds that's big.
Burning, he's rooted for the moment, but still, Fatal Bonds onto 4. This is a scary way to take the fight with the Radiance Burn going. They connect onto OP. Another song used offensively.
All they have is Stomp, though. They don't have Boundless Strike. I don't think they can take it. They just have to accept that, okay, we guarded our tier 3.
Q
That's
might
good
die. They're doing a lot of damage with the Fatal Bonds.
Somebody deal with those illusions. Help.
Oh, poor Q.
Help
No,
Q, guys.
he's gone, and now they're stampeding forward for OP. Oh, wow. All right, there's the
IG
TP
are
out.
not homies, Gabe. Homies help homies. And they very clearly were just like, nah, Q, we out.
Yeah.
You could tell, because like he was like, oh god, I'm gonna die to this, and everyone else is just like not paying attention to that. They're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's a little bit unfortunate,
It's
but
trials of support play, honestly.
that's what happens when you're a Lina.
Oh, nice roll out there. bo3 getting just enough distance for his Blink Dagger to come up. Dodges away from OG, trying to claim an extra kill. after that Lina. Look how much space IG have to work with now. They were practically closed in inside their base, right? They lost to Storm Sphere just outside their tier 3. All of a sudden now they have almost not half the map control, let's say a third of it, and they're going to be able to, yeah, the OP is going to get his BKB, I think, before the next fight.
Yeah, and they want to keep this aggression up. They don't want to allow Naga Siren to set up and get all of those lanes pushed. There is still, you know, a good amount of pressure on each of them.
I think it's relatively obvious. Mid and bottom, really aggressively positioned illusions that are not scouting anything. He's probably just gonna blink away as soon as the smoke pops.
They know that Ana was there.
Oh, I don't.
That ward that was up there spotted him go into the meld strike, but they couldn't quite get there in time.
I think they had to judge the smoke distance a little bit better and try and position the Nyx Assassin farther forward and try. I don't know. It was just like such a good play from Ana. I don't know how IG counterplays that very well. It'd have to take some extreme coordination.
Oh, and now OG is walking up towards high ground. You need to be careful with this. I'm not sure if that ward quite has vision on the high ground.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Yeah, there it is. It is there. Okay. But does look like after those two smokes are both going to fill. And this is the thing that I think IG wanted to avoid, was when your Naga Siren illusions are constantly spamming out the wave, because now it's a lot harder to come and contest this Roach.
Yeah. Should be a freebie for OG. I think they probably try and wait for the BKB. Uh-oh. XXS, I say.
They have
the long-range Storm Sphere jump, too. Oh, no, they missed.
All right, well, they're still there, and they are going to try and take this fight. BKB has been popped for OP. They're taking one down. No Tail is out of there. Fly also in a little bit of trouble as OP has found him in the back.
He's got that.
Ana has the Aegis in hand. Still long time before No Tail is back up. bo3 finds a stun onto 2. Ana gets the silence onto the Storm Spirit. He's forced to Bloodstone Suicide. This is not the way that IG wanted the fight to go, with 3 already dead. bo3 just has to run.
They're going to be blinking from Ana soon. Roll into the right-hand side. Nice play.
All right, so they do manage to get out with him, but it was a heavy cost. Another suicide for the Storm Spirit. He's not had the type of game that he wanted.
XXS's Nyx Assassin has not been hitting like his Legion Commander. If he hits that stun on the Song of Siren better, or even just hits like maybe 2 heroes, that fight gets a lot simpler. They finish off the Naga, they turn their attention to Roshan.
And now Burning under fire, picked away by bo3 again, saving his carry.
Ana also, I think, used the Hurricane Pike on Selena for a quick extraction outside of the base, as they couldn't kill Lina, or yeah, as they couldn't kill him, like it was just like, oh, now I'm overextended, right? So good clean out there from OG. Their Naga is back up, and he's going to join the rest of the team with the Boots of Travel.
We haven't had too much of a chance to see it either, but certainly the Aghanim Scepter Centaur Stampede is playing huge dividends in this.
Yeah, for sure. There goes the Tier 3 tower. They immediately go up for the Roshan Shrine at top.
Cool comment collected, taking of objectives. As the Bloodthorn is finished for Ana, further amplifying the amount of damage this team is going to do in these fights. So the Octarine, and actually Naga Siren not going back, is going for the Diffusal Blade as opposed to some more of the tanky items that we occasionally see in Aftermanta. Do you like the choice here against the Storm? And
I think it's like I'm never gonna really call out Naga Siren players and their item choices, because I think they have a very unique view of the game, and they've got this kind of feel. He feels like Diffusal Blade is his best option. There's some Ghost Scepters around. You know, there's potential mana burn to be able to play around against some of these heroes as well.
Seems quite good. So Nyx also, he's going to be going back for the Ags. They've got these items that allow them to further hold high ground. It does sort of feel similar to one of the games that we casted a bit earlier. But I'm kind of wondering again that like BKB for Storm Spirit, I'm wondering when that's going to come into play, if maybe they've lost the opportunity for them to get aggressive.
Yeah, they used it in the last Roshan fight, and it was just enough to finish off the problem was they had to commit so much extra mana. When you force the Storm Spirit to jump, and then he has to use another jump to actually finish off the hero, that it just becomes like not poor mana management, because he had to do it, but it just means that the hero's not going to remain relevant in the team fight. And you saw, he was like, okay, I'm out of mana. My BKB's wearing off. I'm just going to be caught by this Templar Assassin. So yeah, I think their window with that BKB is now going to be solely based off of like high ground defense. OG, they are open to kind of poke and prod at these tier 3 towers. Split it up, let the illusions deal with the side lanes, let Ana poke at the tier 3, and just kind of wait until there's a good opening for them.
This is just so hard to deal with, the constant spam, and you can send them over to the lane that have the racks exposed already. Ana's starting to take this tower. There's not a great answer to it.
No, there certainly is not.
Look at Q again, he's just getting ran down by these illusions inside his own base behind the tier 4s. He can't even be safe there.
So in order to defend this, IG, they have to stop this up at some point, right? They have to jump out. So it's Storm Spirit or Nyx Assassin with the Lifestealer Bomb that jumps. Do they go Naga Siren, right? Because they had to invest so much to catch the Naga. Do they catch the Warlock, right? Because that's a very quick kill that they can take during their BKB and Rage timings, kind of ignoring the Song of Siren.
Right. That seems to be probably the best play that they could do, but then you also have the issue of S4, and he can throw out his Stampede, which makes that separation. Maybe you silence S4 and then go on to fly.
That's hard though. You can't give the too many of those options because OG are keeping pretty spread, right? You're not gonna be able to really initiate on multiple heroes at once.
And the whole time through, while you're trying to figure out what's the opening, your tower is falling. It's just this ease of execution that OG have as far as taking the high ground where they slowly chip away at it, and you're left IG wondering at what's your answer.
Range racks is too. That top range racks, now the mid range racks, they're gonna be chipped away by these illusions. There is, OG, they have so many objectives they can slowly take. There's no reason to try and force this, right? They could systematically go through tier 3, tier 3, tier 3, range tracks, range tracks, range tracks, right? They could just constantly do this. And then it's going to be the question of okay, now we have to take melee raxes. But first you do this, take the easy gold, right? You're going to have a huge gold lead once you've taken all the tier 3 towers and all the outer shrines away from this IG team.
Yeah, now with OG with a 12,000 roughly net worth lead, you're looking at a situation where IG need the perfect fight and OG need any other fight possible, because that's the only thing that's really going to allow them to pull it back here. And they certainly can't take a fight outside of the base either unless it's a pickoff, which this lineup does well.
Yeah, I think there's opportunity for showing Storm Spirit and going for a two-man smoke gank with Nyx and Lifestealer or something like that. I'm not sure if they can ever do a 5-man smoke, because their lanes are always hemmed in. There's always vision for OG to be able to work around. If they notice that there's just not heroes on the map, they're going to just play passive. They're going to play a high ground area and just wait for you to crash into them.
And also the warding that's come in by OG, this lane ward that we saw in the earlier series is going to be taken out with the gem.
Yeah, that's super smart. They need it at this point. It's the only way they can get outside the base.
Definitely what was needed. And
oh, there's the jump here.
Oh, Q. He's been the bullied hero this game. It's been a tough one for him.
Poor Q, man. He's taken this hero because he gave them a better opportunity to win with this shift and a scaling mid and Storm Spirit, but it is going to be a very delicate support to play this game.
Okay, here's a way to start it. If they can separate and kill off the Centaur, he does die before the Golem goes out. This is about as good of a fight as you could possibly take, but now No-Tail has shown up as well. They don't have a great way to take this outside of starting it with Jarex, and there's going to be initiation. BKB comes out, still gets bashed by the Wukong's command.
No.
Now held in the net. It's all gone wrong for OP. Does manage to barely walk out of that one. So they saved the life of their
If they can get back to a shrine, they can still probably jump out. I think OG are smart to just smoke and run, but Ana's going in.
Tobica, he's taken a lot of damage from that Bloodthorn. Won't end up popping to the burn of it, but they will at least dissuade IG from following any further.
Yeah, that actually takes so much for them to be able to deal with these illusions. Because the supports, their magic damage just isn't enough to be able to pop it a lot of the times, and you only have 2 cores to really right-click it, Lifestealer and Storm Spirit. Those are also your hero killers, so these illusions do a lot to dissuade IG from ever pushing out in opportunities like that, right? They backed up, they had all 5, they shine, they get pretty high health. They still can't push out with these mobile heroes and catch OG.
So it's looking to be much of the same story where you've got to look for an opening, a pickoff, and it did work in that instance. They found that Centaur, took him out before Fly could come in and be that counter initiator with the Warlock, but now Burning getting chased down here, was able to get away from the silence. XSS, he's not going to drop either. a very awkward situation. Burning's still feeling like he can take this fight. He has found No Tail. There's a lot of heroes grouped up right here for IG. And Ana is under fire now. Jerix comes in, gets a really good stomp. Is going to try and turn this back around. Flies there as well. They wrap down the Wukong's command, but OG is just too strong. 3 are already dead. This is looking like OG ready to take this one.
OP, if he had got a better jump forward, if it was onto the Naga Siren, maybe that fight would have been a lot different, but he just expended so much mana to do no damage to the side of OG. The double damage to allow them to be able to quickly take a melee Rax. If not,
oh, they're there on top of Centaur. Can they somehow turn this around? A 3-person Magnetize is on all the heroes in the back. Can they keep applying this one? Bobica doing his best, still getting the chase, but you have an ensnared Lifestealer. OP trying to find the chase here as well. The Ghost Scepter's going to keep Bobica alive for the moment. They're going to continue now for Ana, but the Song of the Siren to turn it. It's on such a low cooldown, and does look like it's going to stop.
Yeah, he barely had the mana for it, but he's got so much mana regen. Maybe he catches a support somewhere. It just doesn't have the mana.
We can't even make it into the river. OP doesn't have the answer. The Bloodstone, it's so low at this point, and he has to come back, try and defend the towers. There's never an out.
Trying to look at IG and how late game falls out for that. I'm talking like super late game, right? 60 minutes plus. I'm not convinced that they can actually... Templar Assassin's not supposed to be the best late game hero. Very fragile. Entirely reliant on BKB and refraction charges. But we have this extra 25 talent. That changes things slightly. We have a very underfarmed IG. They're not going to be able to compete anywhere close to the same kind of net worth. That also changes things. We have some supports on the side of IG that are not going to be nearly as effective as Warlock and Monkey King. That's another thing that OG actually have to their advantage in late game. So even if you're dealing with a Storm Spirit late game, and especially close to his base, I'm not sure if Storm Spirit by himself is actually enough to win super late game for you against OG's lineup.
It does really feel like that Naga pick so heavily countered out what the initial things were from Invictus Gaming that they've been playing from behind ever since that pick in the draft. So a lot of answers and a lot of more so questions for IG as they're setting up and getting ready for the next Roche fight. No Tail continuing his movement. There's a jump across the other side of the river. The rest of them are spread out, but that Ags Centaur ulti keeping No Tail alive. Will it be enough though? They get the counterplay, but that is going to be No Tail down. There's so much damage coming out. OP almost dead, is going to eventually fall. They've also controlled out Burning, continuing the chase. Ana is
Good
there.
Kick forward.
So many force staffs, but can they do it? A huge impale. XSS, but where's the damage? They just don't have it. They end up life strike by the golem, but still they're bringing down the TA. They are going to find that kill. Can they get more?
Well. Need to stop him from being able to jump into the trees, but they can't close the distance. Nice jump away.
Oh, it's 2 huge kills. You take down both of those cores, but is it enough in your eyes?
It is going to... I can't even say this with confidence. It might be enough for them to take Roshan. The double damage, that adds a lot.
Look at the barracks, though. They're still being assaulted.
Yeah, I was figured there might be a buyback here. They don't want to give this Aegis away. Somebody jumped Infest. Now XXS has got to carry this Lifestealer to safety. They've invested the buyback. That gives them the Aegis, right? I think IG, you accept that.
Man, and Burning almost got trolled there a little bit by Roshan getting the bash.
Okay, IG really don't want to. Maybe they think this is their best opportunity to be able to actually turn this game. It does look very dire for them. Okay, now Burning's going to give it up.
Yeah.
I think that's the best choice. Again, they invested the buyback. That wins them Aegis. Okay, just accept that. Play passive, play the base. When they go high ground, right? Aegis is not that. I kind of feel like the buyback is better at this point in time. Yes, it gives you a second life that is immediately in the team fight, but if the team fight is bad enough and you just you die and then you're just going to come back and die again, then boom, you don't have buyback. You're dead for like maybe close to 2 minutes.
Right.
That is a big window for IG. Even if it doesn't let them take an objective, it's a big window for them to at least farm and take map control and at least buy some time for them to try and work towards this super late game. Their supports just are not transitioning though. That is a big time problem. Bobica's trying to get the Aghanim Scepter, and that would be huge for high ground defense. I don't think Arlena's really going to ever transition into a right click ever in this game. It's probably, well, he's kind of looking. He's trying to get the Ethereal Blade right now, and he went for the spell amplification. So I don't think there's any plans. He's probably just going to get like Ags and stuff and just try and like be something that eliminates a hero.
Yeah. Well, and I'm thinking about, too, the way that these next couple fights play out. You talked about buybacks. Storm Spirit did use his, so he has his on cooldown again for another 2 minutes here. You have that Aegis on Ana. So if you can somehow break through the 2 lives of Ana, like you said, you have this window where he's not going to have that buyback, dead for a while, and you can start taking the rest of these objectives. But it's a big if, and again, the team fight has to be perfect from IG.
It probably means OG. If they want to play it super safe, they just wait like 3.5 minutes, let's say, before they force that Aegis fight. So then their buyback is, you know, a minute away. It's not like a real dire circumstance.
Yeah. Another smoke play now. Ana's been playing so spectacularly this game. So they're going to move in towards mid. TP in from No Tail as well.
I wonder if they're doing this because they know the buyback timer on the Storm Spirit. Maybe they want to force this fight in the next, you know, minute or so and try and take advantage of that timing. They also probably know the Storm Spirit doesn't have a whole lot of gold to work with. We know that he doesn't even have anywhere close to buyback gold, even if he did have the timer to his favor.
Well, it does seem a little bit peculiar trying to make this movement since they're so far ahead. We've talked about how the late game is really good for them. They are going to blink away there. Do not catch out Ana on his TA. But again, if you find a pickoff at this point, the game's over. So it's quite strong.
Look at him. He's starting rolling these illusions. These supports just can't handle it.
Okay, another jump.
And he's so quick.
Yeah, and those refraction charges too, 9 of them online. And he's moving down towards the bottom lane now. They've pressured in each of the others. No Tail is sending his illusions up towards the top side as well, where Burning has to deal with them, as well as mid, hitting the range barracks. And there just isn't a great answer. They're just completely getting ratted.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about, right? Tier 3s and range racks are probably just going to be chipped.
Oh, stun, Bloodthorn out, Storm Spirit going to be pursued by that. The BKB keeps him alive. And now the counterplay with the Force Staff, keeping S4 alive. Song of the Siren. This is going to be a big fly ulti if they can time it together perfectly. There's the stun that comes out onto 3. Starting to take down Burning. They've jumped to fly, but he's already used his ulti. Lifestealer did manage to invest inside, and it's going to walk away from this one. So not the full amount of damage that they might have want done.
Maybe they can get the melee racks, though. That's still a big win. Nice double LSA with the double follow-up stun. They try and burst down the Monkey King, but it's just not enough. But maybe Ana, they could possibly get till number 1 on him, but the ensnare is too much for the Storm Spirit to work with.
It's a good magnetize. Burning is going to end up dropping low, though, and Ana, and a couple more clicks. He's got the Aegis. It's actually Fly with the right click that kills off Burning. Oh, Captain, my Captain, kill off Burning. The tier 3 is going to fall. And it looks like possibly with no buyback on Storm, no buyback on Nyx, at least for a little while, OG could think about sticking around.
Yeah, OG, just compose yourself a little bit. You've got time to work with. Take this lane of racks. IG, you're going to poke and prod, but they commit too heavily. 2-man stun, this could be over.
S4 with the hit. Jarek set it up beautifully. Burning just desperately wants to find that kill, but they're running away. Ana Force-staffed out as well. They're just kiting them all to death.
Boba. Oh, yeah, let's go Scepter. Too easy to go there, but Burning doesn't have a range to work with.
They're going in again. Monkey King ulti. It's come off cooldown. Everybody's dead. Invictus Gaming. I think that they might have lost it. GG is called, an OG going to be the ones moving to a grand final. And you can see that happiness on their face. And I'm sure even though the crowd a little bit upset about it, they're giving their clap. They like good Dota.